Alrighty, we're going to do a little painting tutorial on a Nintendo controller. Original NES, obviously. Alright, first thing you got to do is get your little handy screwdriver there and take out these 6 screws. Right there, and there. Alright, well, I'm going to pause the video and get these screws out and we'll start back up. Alright, so we got our screws undone. Little Phillips guys, you can see them in there. What you want to do is just lift that off. You can dump them right out. Alright, got to get them gathered up. I'll put them in a paint lid. They won't get away that easily. Alright, here's the board. Simple little motherboard. Get this little guy out of the way. Pull the little rubbers off. And we'll start the select button. Little A and B action here, and then we're going to dump these buttons out. Alright, we don't need those guys for a while. Set them aside. Here is the important part. Right down here, sorry for the crappy video, there's a little hole that you can use to push this little sticker up. That way you can paint underneath of it without having to tape all this crap off. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed here. Take this little screwdriver and push gently. I'm going to have to put the camera down for a second. We'll see. Got to push gently out on it. I'm doing this with an iPhone, so it doesn't work so well. Maybe we'll have to scrape it with a razor to get it out. Well, I'll get the sticker peeled up and we'll get back to it. Alrighty, I got the corner up, so, you know, if this little doodad back here doesn't work for you, just take your fingernail or anything kind of pointy underneath the corner and just peel it up slowly, work it all the way across the controller. Be careful around the buttons. You don't want to tear these little guys because you're going to need this later. Well, you don't need, well, yeah, you need it because you don't want to fill that little crappy hole there. So yeah, you're going to need that later. So save it. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Alright. Now that we got that apart, you can see it's pretty cruddy underneath there. So the next thing I would say is take it in the bathroom with a little bit of soapy water and your brother or sister's toothbrush, maybe your mom or your dad's toothbrush, and clean all that 50 years of finger junk out from underneath there, so you're not worrying about, you know, trying to cover that crap with paint. And once you do that, we're going to get back and we're going to sand our covers. And I'll show you how to do that, and we'll paint them. I'm just going to pause it again, of course, going by myself with an iPhone, not working out so good. Need a Pepsi break from my Ramones class. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're back out in the garage. You're probably wondering why one controller turned into 2 controllers. Well, the reason for that is actually, I'm going to, hopefully if this draws enough attention I can give these away when I'm done, but I'm going to do a Shadow Link or Dark Link themed controller and a Hero Link controller. So one's going to be black, mostly black and gold, and one's going to be gold and a little bit of, you know, black, probably. So they're going to be opposite of each other, except for the Dark Link. I think I'm going to do something a little special here with the Nintendo logo, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and put this controller off to the side so we can focus on our Hero Link controller first. Now, I like to use Scotch-Brite pads to rough up my plastic. The gray ones are better than the darker colored ones. This one's got a little bit of paint or something on there. But yeah, the lighter ones are better than the darker ones because they're not as coarse. You don't want too coarse or else you'll see scratches in your paint and clear coat. So we're going to go ahead and rough these up as best we can. You want to get in all the cracks and crevices as best you can. Do the inside lip and all that good stuff because you don't want your paint chipping or peeling away later on after the controller's put together. It'll, look like crap. So we're going to scuff this up. Alright, we got it all scuffed up, and our next step is to take some denatured alcohol. You might be able to use rubbing alcohol. I'm not sure. I've never done it. I just buy this stuff. It's like $5 for this quart. I think it's a quart. Is it a quart? Yeah, there it is. 1 quart. Quart of this stuff and a paper towel to wipe down all the grease and, chicken grease, finger crud, whatever you got on there while you were scuffing it. Just take it and wipe it as much as you want because this stuff dries really quickly and won't leave residue, won't harm the plastic, won't melt it. I wouldn't recommend lacquer thinner because lacquer can melt a lot of plastic. So just, as much as you want of the denatured alcohol and clean it up as much as you want. I'm going to do this one-handed here for tutorial purposes. I forgot to mention the Scotch-Brites. You can get these pretty much at any Advanced Auto, usually AutoZone, crap like that. Chain stores for car crap. Alright, back to this. Wiping this thing down. Alright. I'm going to wipe this down, get set up for paint, and we're going to do our first coat of paint. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and scuff and wipe my directional pad and my A and B buttons down also. Go ahead and give them a little extra flavor while we're, painting everything. Might as well get it over with. If you want, you can use a little bit of a diffusion promoter to help it stick to the plastic. Not necessary if you do a good scuff job, but if you have it available and you can get it, pick it up. It's worth having around if you're going to do a bunch of these. If this is going, your only one you're going to do, I wouldn't worry about that so much as long as you do a good job scuffing everything up. Alright, now we're going to get ready to paint. So we got to get our color, choose our colors, and choose our paints. And we'll grab that and show you what we got. Get these laid out for paint here first. It should be fine. I should be able to get all that colored in pretty good. I'm going to grab my paint. We're going to get started on the painting. Alrighty, got my paint ready. Here's what I'm going to use. It's engine enamel. I got this at Advanced Auto. It's gold. It's the best color gold that they had. You don't have to use engine enamel. I personally like enamel because it sticks to everything really well. It dries nice. And you can clear coat it with urethane. Mostly doing a spray paint tech because this is easily available to everybody. I usually spray mine out of the gun with automotive paint and clear coat. So we're going to go ahead and stick the spray paint for these guys, as a tutorial. And we're going to get started with some coats of spray paint. Let's see if I can do this holding a camera. So far, no. We're going to do a light coat. It's a little cold in here, so do a light coat and let it bite. Help the paint stick to the plastic a little better. Alright, there's our first light coat. We're going to leave that at that, and we're going to do another heavier coat here in a couple minutes. Alright, our first coat's dry. Let's go with number 2. You can do a heavier coat this time. It should only take about 2 or 3 coats to do the controller since it's already a light color and the gold's a light color. But you want to make sure you get around all these edges because, if you miss the edge, then you get a little red end sticking up on your gold button and it doesn't look so good. So, go ahead and get these other coats taken care of. I'll probably do a couple coats off camera because you don't need to see every single coat. You just need to know that you need to do at least 2 or 3. So I'm going to go ahead and get these done properly, maybe without the camera. We'll see if I can do one more with the camera. Let's try it out. Just about 12 inches away, dust it on there. You don't want to lay it too thick. You'll get it runny. It'll look like crap with all the runs in it. Everything's crap. I say crap about 5 million times in a video. It's like Rob Zombie says yeah about 37 times in each song. That's my thing, I guess. It's not as cool. I don't know. I'm trying to get these evenly covered. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and get some good coats on there, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got our good coats of gold on there. Next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of flare, make it stand out just a little more so it doesn't look like a spray painted gold controller. And the gold buttons on the gold controller, even with the sticker, are going to clash with that square. It's going to look like square buttons on a Nintendo controller, and I just don't like that idea. So I'm going to set the stuff we don't need aside right now. Only going to focus on this front cover. And we're going to take some tape. This is just cheap dollar store tape. You can use pretty much any tape that isn't too sticky. Don't use duct tape because it'll ruin your paint. And we're going to tape around the outside edges here. I'm going to probably have to stop the video and tape it up and, come back on, because I don't know how I'm going to tape with one hand. So we're going to stop this. Alright, we got our edges taped up, you can see. You don't have to cover too much inside here. You just want to leave these exposed and cover the outside edge, so you're not getting the wrong color on the wrong part of the controller. You're just going to go ahead and take your second color. I'm using the same brand paint, just black. We're going to just go ahead and dust this on here. Just to cover that gold up a little bit, I'll probably do 2 coats. So I'm going to pause it, let this dry, and do another coat. Alright, the second coat of black is done, and the tape is peeled away, and you can see we didn't touch our outside gold brim because we want that to stay gold. And I'm going to show you why none of that was in there. It was very important. And we're going to get the sticker back on, and we're going to take a look at basically how our controller is going to look after it's clear coated. Alright, now we just got it. I just got the sticker kind of sitting in there right now. I'll put little dabs of super glue in there to hold it in later. I just want to get this, kind of put back together so we can see where we're going with this whole thing. So really, all you got left to do is put it back together the way we took it apart. I'll do this real quick, get it back together. Just remember how you took it apart. Kind of too late for that. But hopefully you remembered how you took it apart. We're just going to put it right back together that way, except it's painted now. And I'll pop it back together and I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. Okay. Now we just got it set back together. I didn't put the board or anything back in. I just want you to see the contrast of if this camera would focus, the contrast of the buttons now compared to what they used to be. See, that gold and black really shines and looks pretty decent, I would say. I like it for the Hero controller so far. It's pretty shiny gold. I see that gray spot on the bottom we need to touch up. That's why you always want to double check everything you do, because if you clear coat it and you see that light spot, it's a lot of work to go back and fix that stuff. Oh, there's another one on the afterthought. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of those light spots, and I'll show you how to clear coat. I'm not going to use spray paint clear coat on these, but I will show you how to do it, because that's what is going to be available to most of you. So we're going to go ahead and get these gold spots fixed first, and then I'll come back and show you how to clear. Alright, we're back. Fix the gold. I'm going to use my Krylon Crystal Clear for this, just to show you guys how to clear coat. I'm going to use this stuff right here for the really high professional gloss. I'm not going to show you what brand I use because it'll give away all of my glossy secrets. But we're going to go ahead and clear coat this one with spray paint, which will be fine for the average gamer. You're not going to wear through this unless you play Nintendo a lot, in which case send whatever you got to me and I can clear it for you, or if you know somebody to paint, they'll clear it for you too. Alright, here we go. We'll take care of this with a little spray paint. The key to clear coating is watching exactly where your gloss is. Kind of dust it in there, and you can see the whole thing shine up. And that's a good solid first coat of clear right there. Let that dry for a while, and see about probably 4 or 5 coats of this stuff would be perfect, but give them ample drying time in between. The best way to check for dryness really is to not touch your controller touch the cardboard next to it. And you see how it's got fingerprints in it? Definitely not dry. But when it becomes tacky, it's dry enough for a second coat. Completely dry, you can still put a second coat on, but I would do it when it's really tacky. Then I'd put coat number 2 and 3 and maybe 4. Wow, I got dirty. Alright. Well, that's it for now. And I'll get some pictures posted up of both controllers together when I'm all done. Enjoy, I hope this helps.